We are all nibbling around the edges, taxes and everything else, and budget cuts, but nobody's really talking about your money. I told you a little while ago, if you had this much money, $10,000 in your bank account 8 years ago, you now, in reality, only have $8,000 because $2,000 has been stolen. How? Well, we've been laying it out with It's a Wonderful Life. Mr. Potter, the banker, the old building a loan, wanted to help when there was a crisis. He was willing to bail people out, 50 cents on the dollar. Townsfolk would lose because of their help, the 50 cents, because he really wanted to control the town. Ben Bernanke has done the same thing. He's responsible, as we've shown you in the first half hour of this program, he's responsible for printing of our money, and that's what's happened. They have digitized and put money out and devalued our dollar. Go back to the first half hour of this show and share those charts with your friends. They're staggering. Why would someone intentionally want to do this? Why would this happen? It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about, I know. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want with this thing. There's just one thing more, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can come without crawling to Potter.
I'm talking about the building and loan. Jimmy Stewart said it best there when he said, something what's gnawing at you is it's something you can't get your fingers on. That's what bothers progressives. They can't control you. They can't have you free because you're going to mess their plans up. I'm building Potterville. Power and money. If you believe the system is broken, you have a responsibility to fix it. But they don't believe in you. Progressives don't believe in you. The Fed would never be doing this if they believed in you. Nobody is helping the small businessman. They're all helping the large financial institutions. Since when did we become a country of banks? Remember, Mr. Potter thought people were just living in crappy houses. They're never going to pay you back. Oh, that guy, he came to me for a loan. We turned him down. But George Bailey believed in people. I grew up in a small business. My dad was a baker, as was his dad and his dad before him. I made it on my own. My parents couldn't afford to send me to college. They couldn't afford to buy me a car or afford to help me out with insurance. Nothing. I was 18 and I didn't expect anything. No one handed me anything. This was the only place in the world where that could happen, where we helped each other. Look, the world is changing. It is changing. Everything is about to change. And those who have power and money know it. Think of how many people are going to lose their power. Or already have, but what's coming is much bigger and better. The record companies. When I was in radio at 13, I got into radio, and you had to have a record company. I mean, it was everything. You had to have a record promoter. You couldn't just go do it. Not anymore. Now you have YouTube and Facebook and iTunes. There's ways to get your music out there. If it's good, you just put it out there. You do it yourself and go direct to the person. The music industry, the record industry, is almost over. When's the last time you even saw a record store? Netflix. Netflix just got into a deal with Kevin Spacey. They just agreed to do a new TV series together. On Netflix? Really? No network. Netflix reportedly paid $200 million for 26 episodes. No network. So now what happens to the power players at NBC and ABC and CBS? Oh, they don't like it. Those executives, they do not like this. The individual doesn't need a power player anymore. And I believe that's why they're telling you, don't prepare. They're creating a system to where you have to come to them. You don't have a choice. No money, no job. But there will always be the Fed. There will always be the government. They will have theirs, which is actually yours. But you will not. I challenge the President of the United States and those communists to stop talking about the greedy bankers and name them as individuals. If they are, if they're dirty and corrupt, let's vet them. Let's get them out of there. Can't we unite on that? Remember, he didn't run to help out the fat cat bankers on Wall Street. Banks are good. They're necessary. I'm tired of hearing about the evil rich people. I know many rich people who are very, very good and give so much more and even make less than the president and give much more. Mr. President, look at the people around you. George Soros, he's only worth $14.5 billion. Nancy Pelosi, $21.7 million. Timothy Geithner, he's between $740 and $1.7 million. They're all rich. Are they bad guys or good guys? I don't know, because I'm being told they're bad, but yet I'm being told they're bad by the guys I'm being told are good. Help me out. Instead of blanketing and making everyone hate rich people, which makes us hate the system, can you name the people specifically and then maybe get the Department of Justice to go after those people? Because I think we're all with you, Mr. President. No more bailouts for anyone of any size. That's not the government's job. And you said it yourself, you weren't elected to do that. So why don't you start naming them specifically and start going after them and praising the system? Unless, of course, you don't really like the system and you would like to see it trashed so you could start a whole new system. Back in a minute.